I do believe this guy is going to be the best player we've seen come out since Kevin Durant. That's how good this guy is.
Who?
Cooper Flagg.
Wembanyama is going to be the best player in 3 years.
Who?
Ever.
Who?
Wembanyama.
Okay.
He's going to be the best player in the NBA in 3 or 4 years.
I'm telling you right now, this guy is the best player.
Close.
This guy is the best player since Kevin Durant has come out of the draft. I'm telling you right now, mark my words, this guy is going to be a beast with Duke this year. A beast. Now, I'm not saying Duke's going to win because Shire's the coach. But I don't be surprised if this guy's averaging about 30 points a game, between 28 and 30 points a game. This is how good this kid is. He's a great player. He is a good three-point shooter. He's not a great three-point shooter. He will develop a three-point shot. I guarantee you he will. In the NBA, you're going to have to. This guy is long, lengthy, athletic. He can pass. They say his passing ability is just as good as his offensive, his shooting ability. Okay. This guy can pass. He's a rebounder. He's a good offensive rebounder. He's a good defensive rebounder. This guy's game is as good as anybody's we've seen in a very long time. I don't care what you guys think with Wembanyama. I'm not saying Wembanyama is not a good player.
He's the best player in the league in 4 years.
He's not.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now. He's not.
You heard it. I said it. I claimed it. And I'm going to own it.
And you want to say Wembanyama? That's fine. A lot of people think that. Everybody would probably think a 7'6" guy, athletic.
All he has to do is just put on weight into that body,
Good.
and he's going to be unstoppable.
And we'll see if he does. He's long, and his legs are like stilts. So good luck on that. Once his leg goes, once one of his knees go, and then he goes. And that's what. Remember Yao Ming? Remember him? I rest my case. I'm going to tell you that.
Comparing Yao Ming to him?
Absolutely. Yao Ming. How tall was Yao Ming? 7'6".
Wembanyama, I thought is 7'2" or 7'3".
No, Wembanyama is 7'6". And
because the game today is much softer, so it's a little different.
Well, I'm telling you, Wembanyama is going to be fighting injury after injury after injury. You watch. It's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Cooper Flagg, what I've seen and what I've studied with, and I've watched this kid play in high school. When he was a 9th grade kid, and I told Speedy, reach out to him 2 years ago. I said, reach out to this kid. I want him on the show. Now we have.
How tall is Cooper Flagg?
6'9", 6'10". I think it's
6'10", I thought.
I think 6'10".
So he has a chance to still grow a possibility.
Yeah. This guy is the real deal. You watch. I'm not even gonna have to say anything. He is going to be more impressive as you see him play over and over. He was scrimmaging with the USA team against the USA players, and everybody said he was one of the best players on the court.
He was literally playing against
LeBron James, and he was outplaying LeBron James. So I'm going to tell you this right now. This guy is going to be the next big thing. You mark my words.
I'm not denying that he's not the next big thing.
Watch.
I'm just saying Wembanyama is going to be the best player in the NBA in 4 years by far.
Oh, that's your opinion. I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. And he'll be a good player. You can argue there's going to be great players in the NBA that are going to compete with him. You're going to compare him to Nikola Jokic in 4 years. He's still going to be in the league. I mean, I don't know how great he's going to be, but there'll be other players that are going to develop where you're going to compare to Wembanyama. So I'm just telling you right now, this kid, there's nobody that's going to compare to this kid. I'm telling you right now, mark my words, wherever he goes, wherever he gets drafted. Is it the Nets? I don't want to see him on the Nets. I don't. I would love to.
I think it's going to be Brooklyn because of the fact that one, I think every draft is rigged. Brooklyn's a big market. That's the reason why they traded Mikal Bridges, so they make the team worse than it already is.
Well, they say that in 2026 because that's what they're stockpiling right now is the 2026 season. That 2026 draft is going to be the best draft in the next 20 years.
Yeah, well, that's 2 years away.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, just going by next year, if this kid's going to be available by next year, I'd say probably the Nets. Well, only because it's a New York market and it's going to help build because of, the whole aspect. I mean, if you think about it, the only other team that I could think that's dying in a big market is maybe the Bulls, the Chicago Bulls. Because usually, that's why I think it's rigged.
Well, yeah, they already got a top 5 this year where they were playing, Sam.
Yeah, but there was no. I'm just gonna say this: this year's draft was horrible. Now, usually we said this, Speedy. Usually, when they say it's a horrible draft, you're going to find 3 or 4 superstars in those drafts.
Well, you just might find,
or just under the concept of the lottery process, though, too.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you this:
basketball is the hardest
sport to predict.
Predict because
I think it's baseball. I think it's baseball.
Well, no, it's yes to a degree, but because there's so many rounds in baseball and they obviously cut it, there's just so many levels you have to go through.
How many top 5 picks in baseball history became stars?
Oh, I understand what you're
I
saying,
mean-
but I'm just saying in the sense to where it's hard, from that level. But I'm just talking about as an individual sport that basketball is, even though it's considered a team, with only 2 rounds and a small roster, you kind of almost have the probability of being good. But the problem is, it's the athletes itself.
Did you hear that the NBA wants to make a 3rd round? Did you hear about that?
For what reason?
I don't know, because they're making not only the G League, they want to make another preseason, not preseason, minor league where teams have 2 teams, 2 NBA.
Yeah, more of a development.
Yes,
system.
a development system. So maybe some of these.
But the game's already horrible as it is. How much worse do you want to make it?
Oh, I mean, the NBA. I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA wants to add more games.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't doubt that, but I really can't even watch anymore unless it has an important meaning to it, because it's horrible. Everybody flops. Everybody looks for a foul.
Thank LeBron James for that.
Oh yeah, no, I know that. That's why I can't stand them. I can't stand LeBron James.
Well,
he ruined the league.
I wouldn't say he ruined the league, because
he ruined the league.
He brought different sponsorships and he brought more money to the league. Now, Michael Jordan
made it softer for him and his friends to play.
Yeah, but he's driven so many different ways where the NBA can bring in
what
more
other
money.
NBA ambassador decided to change the rules and the regulations to keep it to his soft ass? No one. Kobe didn't. Jordan didn't. Everybody else didn't. They played among. Nobody said, let me get my friends to team up to try to win a ring, when everybody let the GM do their job of making a competitive balance.
But he didn't cheat. And when you go back, and again,
I didn't say he cheated.
I'm not, and I would
never
agree
said he
with you.
cheated.
I'm going to say I would agree with you with the whole,
He was chasing a
trio.
goat that he couldn't catch.
Well,
That's his problem.
Dude, nobody's going to chase Michael Jordan. Everybody can try to chase him.
He tried with his friends to try to get 3 rings in 3 years.
Wayne Gretzky, what he did, the success that Wayne Gretzky did in the NHL, he couldn't chase Michael Jordan. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. When you look at Tom Brady winning 7 Super Bowls, he won more championships than Michael Jordan. I'm sorry, Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete I've ever seen. I don't care what anybody says.
That's interesting.
It's the greatest athlete I've ever seen. I don't know. It's not because I'm hating on Tom Brady, because I think Tom Brady is a sensational athlete. But Michael Jordan, when Michael Jordan played, I knew. Okay, as a Knicks fan, I watched Michael Jordan my whole life. All right, I watched him in the prime of his career, and nobody could say that. Mike, you could say it. I could say it. I watched Michael Jordan. My favorite sport growing up was basketball. I watched that man play the game at the top. So did you, Fish. You watched him too. All right, Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete I've ever seen. Any sport, boxing, football, baseball, hockey, racing. I mean, Dale Earnhardt and what he did as a racer. Anybody, Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, all of them. Michael Jordan is the greatest athlete I've ever seen. Muhammad Ali.
He's the greatest basketball player.
I think he's the. I don't know. I think he's the greatest athlete I've ever seen. I'm sorry. The guy, his blood was cold. He didn't give a crap. It didn't matter.
That's his personality.
Yeah, it didn't matter. And by the way, he changed sports and he changed endorsements. He was the first person that drove Nike to say, you know what, I'm gonna pay you for every single shoe that you sell. Okay, and he made millions and billions. Michael Jordan, I saw something very interesting that posted up recently. Do you know how much LeBron James has made playing basketball? $551 million playing basketball in the NBA. Michael Jordan, $95 million. Michael Jordan was the first athlete in sports history to break $1 billion. First athlete to ever do it. So Michael Jordan did it with endorsements, sponsorships, building his name. And that's what everybody's doing now. LeBron, they're all trying to build their name through a product. Michael Jordan is the product. He is the product. You know, and I'm going to say this, and no offense to Jerry West being, the emblem of the NBA. Honestly, the emblem of the NBA should be Michael Jordan.